Good day, crafty chums, and welcome to my channel. It's Nikki here. It's been a little while since I've made a video, so I'm a little bit rusty as usual. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Martha Ayala Art for organising these video hops that are going to be throughout this year. She puts in a tremendous work and effort to make these things happen, so thank you. And also thank you to her sidekick. I've forgotten who it is now, and I can't stop and have a look. Oh no, you know who you are. So this is the hashtag Artsy Second Sunday video hop, and there's going to be the Artsy Second Sunday once a month for the rest of the year. Everybody taking part in this will be in the description box below this video, and let's just say welcome. One of the prompts that I chose, obviously I'm only going to do one of them, was Snowman. So I decided to build me a snowman from watercolours, because what is snow if it's not water? That's not the reason. I just thought it'd be an easier one to do. I apologise, this is a supersonic mic, and it will pick up every little squeak and movement of my chair, so I apologise for that in advance. I'm just going to talk over the top of this. Don't quite know how to add music to this editing suite yet. I've only just really found out how to work the adding the voice-over properly, so we'll see. I'll get better as the year goes on. I'm determined this year. I'm determined that I'm going to keep with it. So what am I using? I'm using my very, very favourite watercolours, which is the Caran d'Ache, and I apologise for totally brutalising her name there. Neocolor 2, my favourites. I also used Derwent Inktense pencils. I also used I actually drew the snowman. I thought I was recording and I didn't, and I'd already drawn him. So I was using just a fine art graphite pencil. Sorry, not a pen at all. I also used a pigment liner for outlining the snowman at the end. And I use a couple of little water brushes. I usually use the water tank brushes, but I've totally ruined those, so I'm just using an ordinary brush, which I haven't managed to ruin yet, but undoubtedly I will. I also use Posca pens at the end, a white one. You'll see I had a bit of trouble with it, and it blobbed because I haven't been using them regularly. It blobbed, and then the first time it blobbed, I took the excess off with the paintbrush, which is very naughty, but I did. And then the second time it blobbed, I decided to use the blob to help distribute the white paint on the painting anyway. So that's what I did. This actually came out as quite a purpley coloured snowman, but hey, it's my interpretation. Oh dear, I amuse myself. Take no notice of me. So what I'm trying to do actually is just fill in the time because I don't know how to put the music. So it's great to be back trying art again. This year has been really rough. The year just gone had been really rough. The year before that was rough too. It totally messed with my joy of painting, with my joy of arting, with my joy of crafting, just with my joy. But this year I'm determined to get it back. So my theme for this year is be joyous and do what makes you happy. Arting makes me happy. I've decided also this year, don't tell my bosses, they'll find out soon enough, I'm going to change my job as well. So, new year, new things happening for me, and hoping to really get back into my art and progress and develop it further. I was coming on along nicely in 2020. 2019, 2020, it felt really good. like things were happening for me, and and then it all just fell apart. And my mother-in-law just died as well, so we're just dealing with the grieving process of that. But we'll get through it. We'll help hubby to get through it, and he'll help me to get through it. And in the end, everything will be just as it should be: sunshine and goodness and light and love. And hopefully, this horrible pandemic will be gasping its last through this year. That's my hopes for the year. And I really want to continue on and develop my art here. I'm using a flat brush to put in just some colour on the background. I'm not painting a background. I'm just adding in colour to the background with a flat brush. And because I'm going to be using the pigment liner, I decided to let the watercolour dry naturally, because you can actually ruin your liners and everything if you go in when things are wet, which I often do because I don't have the patience to let it dry. But this time I decided to walk away and let it dry. So this is me coming back after it's dried. I might be wearing a jumper now. It's summer here, but it's been horrible weather. I might have popped a jumper on, but rolled up the sleeves for continuity's sake. Yep, it was pouring with rain when I videoed this. Great time to sit in your craft room or art room and just create. Who wants to go out when it's pouring with rain? Not me. Even though I do work and I do have to go out when it's pouring with rain, Hey. As you can see from the shadows on me, I do have my lights on. It's that kind of day. I've actually changed my art room around, but still have to have the lights on. I was hoping to be able to get more light, but I changed it around, didn't work, so still have the lights on. Hey. If you see little jumps in the videoing there, it's because I dried it along these little bits here with the heat tool, because and then I just edited it out, because you don't need to see paint dry, do you? No, you don't. Just add in some splashes for interest, just to fill in the background a little bit more. I could have done a scene, but I decided not to. And in a little while I'm going to doodle, mostly with watercolour. As within any kind of painting, you're painting lights and darks. You're painting dark to get the light. In watercolour you start light and then add in the shade and it's the other way around with acrylics. So this is where I'm using the Derwent Inktense pencils. I really do like the Derwent Inktense pencils as well. That's a mouthful. It's a tongue twister, that one. I'm taking pains to actually blend it in, so I don't get the hard edges around. So I'm actually trying my best to blend in the watercolour. But I did imagine that the light was coming from the left side of the picture. If he was in New Zealand, if he was a Kiwi snowman at this time of year, he would have already melted. He'd have his straw hat on, he'd have his sun hat on, he'd have his suntan lotion on, he'd have his sunglasses, he'd have his flip-flops, which they call thongs here, but a thong is something else to me. But so he'd have his flip-flops on and he'd have been melted. And that's exactly how I feel if I go to the beach, is I feel like I'm melting, because I'm used to being, I'm a northern hemisphere lass, and being in the southern hemisphere, it's just like, I'm melting, it's too hot. I'm not someone who likes to go to the beach and sunbathe. I'm much happier in the cooler weather where I can put clothes on to stay warm than I am to have to take clothes off to stay cool. It seems like an anathema to me, but hey. So, sorry. So here I am darkening shadows and things to improve the lighter colours of the rest of the snowman. And blending in. What I really find interesting about watercolour painting is that if you let your brush rest, you make a mark. And then, especially with the Inktense pencils, I tell you, it's very difficult to blend out and reduce the reduce. Here I go too heavy. And of course, so what you do when you go too heavy is with normal watercolour is you get more water on, dry brush, get more water, and then you lift the water off. With the Inktense pencils, because they're pigments, it tends to stay on. So it's actually, you've got to move really quickly if you want to remove the Inktense pigments from the paper. So here I'm just doodling a little hearts because, of course, obviously it's getting towards Valentine's as well. Maybe January, but it's actually not January when I film this, but it's December. But it's January. We're getting towards February, which is, lover's time of the year. So we've given him a few little hearts, dangles, and this is where so the Inktense pencils, I had too much water on a brush and it blobbed there, but we'll just ignore that. I thought I was going to do something with it, so I, lift off the colour, but it doesn't really work with Inktense pencils, but hey. So I moved to my smaller brush because it holds less water anyway and not likely to get too much blobbing with the smaller brush. And this is my Posca pen where I hadn't used it for ages, so I had to give it a good old tapping to try and get the ink to come out, the pigment to come out. And then, of course, as I was going along, it was okay, and then suddenly it went blob. Blob. And that's where I removed it with my paintbrush. And just carried on. And then I got another blob, and then so I decided to use my other Posca pen and then just use that blob of paint to actually fill in the rest. I think I dried it off here. At least I hope I did, because I'm in with the I'm in with the pen, and if I didn't dry it off, I'm gonna ruin my pen again. Oh yeah, that bit might have been a little bit wet, of course, because I had a great big blob of paint. So anyway, I just want to say thanks very much for watching. Please go on to the next video in the hop, and the links will be all the links you ever needed or wanted to need or didn't even think you needed to need will be in the description box below this video. Thanks for watching. See you again very soon. Love you all. Bye.